You need a break?
No, that was good.
Okay. So, and again, you pretty much start if you got it set up in the center. Just tell them put the center of your wrist right here and the crosshair. Okay? Because again, you feel the wrist, you feel a little bump here and a little bump there. All right? Give it a try there. All right? Those are called your styloid processes. All right? So you want to go to just past the width of the hand. You want the cone field to come up to the knuckles because you want it to include the entire metacarpals. And then however far it goes up on the wrist, then you include that. So if you center at the wrist and open the cone field so it includes the metacarpals, then it's just a matter of placing your... Now, if you look, her hand, I'll put your hand out flat. See, with the hand down flat, the wrist comes up off. Okay? So again, just have them flex their fingers. Now, what a lot of techs will do is I'll just have them make a fist. The problem with making a fist is that the fingers are now superimposed underneath your metacarpals. So that when you make the exposure, now you got superimposition, and that can be useful information. Right? So by flexing the fingers like that, and then centering between the styloid processes, there's your PA wrist. Okay? Quite easy. All right? Some places do one oblique, some places do both obliques. All right? But anyway, the one oblique that everyone does is the lateral or external oblique. And so simply from here, you just rotate the arm out 45 degrees and then recenter between the skin surface. And skin surface is between that point and that point. Okay? So again, you can just go skin surface, midpoint, or just eyeball it. Right? And just make sure you move your marker back in, especially if you're only doing one exposure per cassette. All right? Now, when doing the lateral, say again?
Sorry.
That is the oblique.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay. Now, when doing the lateral, okay, come on up. Ideally, you want the arm and forearm to form a 90-degree angle. When we're doing the elbow, then we'd raise the table or lower the chair or a combination to get this all in the same plane. Because without it, you cannot get the elbow joint open. So for right now, doing the wrist, you want the wrist lateral. And it says position it so the wrist is lateral. Now, with the hand lateral, the wrist is not going to be lateral. With the wrist lateral, the hand is not going to be lateral. Okay, so from a lateral hand, you would supinate the hand 3 to 5 degrees until the styloid processes are superimposed, or I just do this. And the wrist is lateral. Okay, with the thumb down, all there is to it. Okay? So there is your lateral wrist. And again, you've got cone field up to the knuckle, which includes all the metacarpals, and then however far in it goes up the forearm, it includes. So by centering, actually I should come up a little bit. There you go. But again, when you start doing that, don't spend, because most time when I watch y'all do that, you move it up a 16th of an inch, back a 16th of an inch, over a 16th of an inch, back a 16th. You're almost always back where you started. But you said are wasted a lot of time. Okay? That's why most of the time you'll just see the text, it looks like they just throw it up there, move a little bit, and run and shoot it. And that's all we do. Okay? Now, if you're in a place that requires the other oblique, okay, one, you can either have them rotate inwardly 45 degrees, all right? But what some prefer, and which some find easier, is that from the lateral position, they go ahead and just rotate it back like this, all right? Would someone go look in the, I think it's the second lateral file drawer and bring me one of them upper extremity skeletons? That would be the shoulder, humerus, elbow, forearm, ham, and I'll show you. Because this oblique equals that oblique, same thing. All right? But some people find that it's easier just to go PA oblique, lateral, and exaggerated oblique.
And still just keep your two.
Yeah, just everything. Yeah, you don't have to move anything. All right? Just keep it simple.
What kind of KV do we use for hands, wrists, and fingers?
We'll cover that in class, but it's also listed on your...
It's relatively high.
No, it's low. Okay, usually your mass is For the fingers, about 2.5 to 3.2. Hands, about 3.2 to 4. Wrists is about 4 to 5. Okay. All right, if you look at, you move your hand, please. Now what you're going to learn once we start covering is that this little bone here is called the pisiform or pisiform bone. Okay, so if I'm doing the internal oblique, you see that the pisiform bone is out there by itself in profile. All right, if I do the exaggerated, it looks the same. The pisiform view is out there by itself in profile. So the over-exaggerated is the same as that. So if you're in a place that requires both obliques, either one of those methods is acceptable. Okay? So and that's personal preference. All right? So I'm not going to say, no, you got to do this. But we'll refer to it as the PA, the external oblique, the lateral, and the medial oblique, even though you're just continuing on with the, so the exaggerated lateral oblique is the same as the medial oblique. Okay? Again, you can look at the pisiform view bone right there. It's just hanging out there in space. And I'll hold it up so you can see. On the other oblique, you can see it's still out there hanging in space. See it? There you go. All right, use my head for something, right? Okay? So, and that is the PA oblique and lateral hand, the PA lateral and a PA oblique and lateral finger, the PA lateral oblique thumb, and the PA lateral and both obliques of the wrist. Okay? So, we'll have y'all demo that next week, so you can go ahead and be practicing in clinic. All right? Under supervision, of course. Thank you. And then next week we'll practice and give you your sheets, and you can start doing the practices for real. All right?